Hi, welcome to Undead Yarn. This is episode 9. My name is Heidi, and I'm Knitty Girl on Ravelry and Plurk, and Knitty Girl 1 on Instagram and Twitter. And I also have a group on Ravelry called Undead Yarn. Well, the first thing I'm going to talk about today is my work in progress. I have been working on some socks with some Madeline Tosh yarn that I got when I was on the yarn crawl. And I'm almost done because it's a DK weight yarn and these went really fast. I used a size 4 needle for them. And it's just cast on 48 stitches, did basic ribbing, and a sock. You might hear some whining in the background. One of my dogs is just being a little toot. So just ignore it. And this is the second sock. So I'm pretty much almost done. I've made a pair of socks in a little bit over a week, probably a week and a half. And the colorway is one I hadn't seen before. This one is called Mansfield's Garden Party. So this is the only thing I've been working on the last couple of weeks. I have set a deadline for myself for the shawl that I'm working on. I'm going to make sure that that is finished by Christmas. That's my my crochet shawl that I'm working on, but I haven't picked it up. I'm planning to work on it this afternoon, but I haven't picked that up in a week or so. And as far as my bee leaf shawl goes, I decided I was going to frog that because I like all the ones that I've seen on Ravelry with the beads. I really like that, so I frogged it, and I'm going to use the same yarn, but I'm going to get beads for it because I really like the way that the shawl looks with beads. So that one I'm probably going to frog, and I'm probably not going to start it again until January. And another thing that I'm considering doing, and I haven't done yet, I bought this pattern several years ago. It was really popular a while ago. It's called Wicked, and it's by Rachel Bishop and Sarah Johnson. And I wanted to knit this for a long time, and I think I'm finally going to get to it. I have some yarn from Elan.com that I bought a while ago in my stash that I'm probably going to use to make this. It's in a gold color. And there's different choices on this. You can do it short sleeve or 3/4 length or full length all the way down. So I think I'll probably do 3/4 length or full length because if I'm going to use wool, I might as well make it a nice warm sweater for myself. And I have to say, I do not have any spinning this week. The yarn that I spun, that I have sitting on the bobbins, is stuff that I need to Navajo ply. And I was so frustrated with my last Navajo ply that I have not tried it again. So what I'm probably going to do is go back and watch the Felicia Lowe class on Craftsy that I have that's about spinning fiber, and it's a really good class. It goes over so many things. It goes over how to blend colors, different ways to spin, and she does a section on Navajo plying that I'm going to go back and watch so I can actually physically see how she does it. As far as our weekend review, we didn't do anything for Halloween except stay home and hand out candy. And the sad thing was we only got 2 groups of kids. I think I guess everybody in our neighborhood is grown up and they're probably teenagers now, so most of the kids that we got, they came really early and they were really little kids. But then the next day was Day of the Dead, that celebrated a lot in Texas, and we painted our faces and wore costumes. And if you are on Instagram, you could see the pictures of us from Day of the Dead. We went downtown to South Congress, and we ate at Guero's, which is a Mexican restaurant down on South Congress. And when we were in the restaurant, they said, "Wasn't Day of the Dead yesterday?" And not realizing that right next door as part of the restaurant, they were having a party for Day of the Dead. And there were other people there who had their faces painted, but we were in the restaurant, so the people in the restaurant didn't even realize that there was a party next door that was affiliated with Guerreros for Day of the Dead. And so after we ate, we went next door, and they had, you know, specialty drinks, and they were serving tacos, and they had a band who's kind of like a salsa band that we listened to for a little while. And then we walked around downtown. That's a really neat area in Austin. It has a lot of different kinds of shops and really good restaurants, so it's a real popular area. They have kind of quirky shops. There's a candy shop that sells like old kinds of candy, stuff that you might not have seen since you were a kid. And there's also a costume shop. A lot of people go there to rent costumes or buy costumes. And there's a couple of thrift stores, and they're kind of higher end thrift stores. More like, they're not exactly consignment, but some of the stuff that you find in there is nicer than what you might find in a regular thrift store. And they do have like a St. Vincent de Paul thrift store too as well. So, and also that's where Hill Country Weavers is, the yarn shop that I talked about last week. So it's a really popular area, and it's a really neat place. If you ever visit Austin, I would recommend going down to South Congress and checking out the area. There's also some quirky little bars. There's Docks, and there's also the Continental Club, which has been around for a long time. So that's what we did last week. I was going to go talk a little bit about another place I went on the yarn crawl, because I'm trying to spread it out. I went to Yarnorama, which is in Page, Texas. And it's probably about 40 minutes from Austin. It's on the way to Houston. And when I was there, I got some Targhee fiber that I haven't spun Targhee before, and it's really soft. The yarn store owner actually has her own brand of yarn and fiber, and she dyes it herself, and it's called Fiber Obsessions. And so I bought this one because I don't have any of these colors, like the purple and green, and I don't have Targhee fiber, so I decided I would try this. This is a braid of her fiber. And her shop, she has a lot of other kinds of yarn and fiber in there too, but she has a really huge selection of different kinds of fiber that she dyes, and different yarn that's in different kinds of fibers, which was really, I thought that was really cool. And while I was there, I also picked up Ply Magazine, which I know a lot of podcasters have already reviewed, so I'm not going to totally go over it. But it is what I used. I didn't have time to sit down and watch the video for the Navajo plying. So what I did was I looked at there is a tutorial, and it's picture tutorial on how to chain ply in here. And chain ply and Navajo ply is basically the same thing. So I kind of used this as a guide to help me to Navajo ply the yarn that I was trying to spin. And it was pretty good. I mean, it's good. It shows you each step, and it's visually, and it's also, there's written directions for each step. So I thought that was really neat. It's a good tutorial. I just think I need a little more help. I want to see a video of somebody actually doing it. So I'm going to go back and watch that video. But there's stuff in here that I haven't spun enough to really understand. They have a part about how to make bats. I don't have a drum carder, but if you had a drum carder, that's a good one. And I like a lot of the patterns in here. They're nice patterns. And there's some of the information that was on colors. Let's see. There were some things in here that I haven't spun enough to understand what they're talking about. So I think this would be good for not just the beginning spinner. It would also be good for an intermediate spinner. Because, like I said, there's some things that I did not completely understand, and I would probably have to go back and read it a couple of times before I knew what they were talking about or how to apply it. So there's a lot of good information in here, not just for the brand new spinner, but also for intermediate or advanced spinners as well. I really like this magazine. And there are some other podcasters who've gone over it more, so you probably watch some other podcasts that went over the magazine in more detail. I got the second edition, and the second edition is on color. I guess for each edition there's going to be a theme for the whole magazine. So those are the two things I picked up at Yarnorama. And I also had time for dyeing this week, but I'll do that at the end. What I wanted to talk about next was my finished object thread. And so far nobody have posted anything in there. So if I get just one person posting in that FO thread, you will automatically win this. If by November 30th there's only one post, you'll automatically win the book. I'm going to go ahead and show you a couple more patterns in here. I showed you 3 last week that I like, and I'm going to show 3 more. This one is a style that I really like. This sweater has a deep V, and you can see I'm wearing one right now with a deep V. And I like these because you can wear different things under them, so every time you wear it, you can feel like you're wearing something different. And this is called the deep U-neck tunic dress. I don't think I would call that a dress. That to me just looks like a long sweater. And I'm assuming if you wanted to make it a little shorter, you could just stop, just not go down as far as it says here. And this uses, looks like worsted weight yarn. So I like that one. And I also like okay, this one is probably one I wouldn't make, but I like the pattern. The reason I wouldn't make it is I'm not very good at sewing linings into things, and I think that when you do a purse like this, you're definitely going to need a lining. This is called the Netted Clutch, and it's made out of a shiny metallic yarn. And it says it just takes 1 ball of Carabella Yarns Glimmer. So that would be a good 1 skein project to have. I like that one. And there was one more that I wanted to show you from this book. This is really cute. It's a nice fitted shrug, and it's called a textured circle shrug. And it has some different textures running throughout. It looks like it's probably stockinette and then maybe a bunch of purl rows. So it has some texture in the sleeves and also along the back. The front edge looks like the collar is in moss stitch. So I think that's really cute. That's another one that I would consider knitting. I do have this book myself. This is an extra copy that I have. And I like this book, and I would really enjoy knitting from it. I just haven't knit sweaters in a while, but it does have other things in it besides sweaters. I showed you there was a purse, and it is mostly sweaters though if you look through it. There are a couple purses. There's a skirt. It's a really cute skirt. I don't think I have the figure for that, but it's really cute. This is called the silk skirt. So there's some different things in there, and Stephanie Japel she's a great designer. So like I said, even if just one person enters, you can go ahead and you would be the automatic winner. You have a really good chance of winning this book if you post in the finished object thread. And that's in my my Ravelry group, Undead Yarn. And the last thing I'm going to do is show you guys, I got around to dyeing again this week. It's been real busy. I've been very busy the last few weeks, so I haven't had time to dye until this week. And I'm pretty happy with what I was able to come up with. This is called Pennywise, and this is a variegated one. It didn't come out quite the way I wanted it because I wanted more white than yellow. So I'm going to call this one Pennywise 1. The next round hopefully will be come out more to what I was expecting. But I do really like the way it came out. It's yellow and purple and red and green. It's got all the colors of the rainbow in it, and it's based after Pennywise from the movie It. And I also did a gradient for that. So I have the red, the orange, the yellow, the green, the blue, and the violet. And this one is a gradient. It goes from red to purple or purple to red depending on which way you want to do it. And I'm going to ball this one up into, wind it into a ball so y'all can see it better when I take a picture of it for the shop. And this one is going to be a dye to order thing. So if you would like to order this, you'll have to, it may not be readily available at the moment, but I will dye it up as soon as I get an order for it. So these are the two new ones. I have Pennywise Variegated and Pennywise and Gradient. And I hope to get to more dyeing in the next week. Things are slowing down a little bit more for me. And with that, I'd like to say, get busy knitting or get busy dyeing.